Now, hurricane season has officially started. It's important to know what to do during a mass evacuation.
That's exactly right. Now, this morning, TxDOT and local law enforcement are practicing an evacuation procedure called contraflow. Channel 5's Sarah Cervera is live in Brownsville near Highway 100. Sarah, what's going on out there?
Right now, parts of the highway are closed for this drill. We're here in front of I-69E, and it's happening between FM 803 and Business 77. We go ahead and take a look at what's happening here. If there's a mass evacuation, contraflow would be enacted so that all lanes of the highway would go the same direction. As you can see, TxDOT crews right now are removing part of a concrete barrier to allow more traffic to go northbound in the event that contraflow would need to be put into place. But here to explain more about what exactly contraflow is Mr. Ray Pedraza. He's with TxDOT. Thanks so much, Ray, for joining us this morning. So just give us a definition. What exactly is contraflow?
Okay, well, as you mentioned, it involves changing all of the lanes of traffic into one direction. Here along I-69E for Brownsville, all of the lanes would be converted into a northbound direction toward Harlingen, and then I-2, all of the lanes would be converted westbound, headed toward FAR, and then US 281 or I-69C would be converted into northbound lanes. Now, this is our designated primary evacuation routes, but that doesn't mean that those are the only routes that you can take. Early on, you could take any state highway. For instance, here in Brownsville, you could take Military Highway, also US Business 83. In other cities, you could take 495, State Highway 107, State Highway 186. But again, as you mentioned, contraflow is what we're practicing today. And here on this particular section of I-69E, as you mentioned, the concrete barrier behind us, there's a 250-foot section, a removable barrier. So at an actual event, this would help us get Brownsville residents out faster. After we close the southbound lanes and convert it into a northbound direction, we could move over more lanes. We can shift over the traffic this way onto the northbound side of the expressway, so that would allow us to increase capacity heading northbound and again to get residents out faster.
So Ray, in what instances would contraflow be enacted?
Okay, this would be only during an extreme circumstance following an order from a county judge or perhaps the governor ordering a mandatory mass evacuation because of an imminent threat to our coastline.
Gotcha. So in an instance, like for example, there's a hurricane, how much of a heads up do y'all need in order to enact this?
In order for the plan to work effectively, it should be at least 36 hours out.
Gotcha. Well, thank you so much, Ray, for giving us that explanation. But as you mentioned here on I-69E, this is going to be happening till around 4 p.m. If drivers are headed this way, what should they do?
Just expect to be diverted to the frontage road on the southbound side. And again, this is a great opportunity for families in our area to be familiar with the evacuation routes. They can head to TxDOT.gov and download brochures in both English and Spanish. They have our evacuation routes. There's also plenty of hurricane preparedness checklist there. We also want to remind people about DriveTexas.org. It's a great resource to monitor road conditions before, during, or after a storm. DriveTexas.org, or they could also call 1-800-452-9292 and speak to a live operator. We want everybody to stay prepared. We hope this isn't our year for a storm.
Absolutely. Ray, just to wrap it up, Ray, why is it important now for people to start planning their evacuation routes?
As I mentioned, we hope it's not our year, but we want to definitely be prepared in the event that we do get a storm. So please be prepared with the evacuation routes and be ready, and just keep an eye on the weather at all times. We are in hurricane season.
Thank you so much, Ray, for taking the time to explain that for us. Again, this is going to be happening until 4 p.m. So if you're headed this way on I-69E, the southbound lanes are going to be closed. So traffic is going to be diverted onto the frontage road. Again, it's happening between FM 803 and Business 77. Live near the Brownsville area, Sarah Cervera, Channel 5 News this morning.